Guys, coming to you from the world famous Stubbs Cycles in beautiful Houston, Texas. And look what I get to bring to you guys today. This is an Indian Challenger. Now, I've admitted in the past that I'm not quite the cruiser guy, but I've been sort of bitten by the bug of these American-style bagger hot rods. Now, what makes this one different? Well, we're working with the same kind of V-twin, but it's overhead cam. It's water-cooled, making about 122 horsepower, so a powerhouse in its own right. But look up front, we've got inverted front forks, Brembo branded front disc brakes. And this motorcycle's got the makings of a performance machine as much as an American style hot rod bagger. Now, just throwing a leg over this machine, man, it doesn't feel like it's heavy. I mean, it is heavy, don't get me wrong, but at 830 pounds, you would think that it would feel a lot more lumbering, maybe, just sitting on it. But then again, with a low seat height and with me being just shy of 6 feet tall, 32-inch inseam, I'm able to have heels on the ground with this machine. So very sure-footed. Let's get her fired up. Guys, there is nothing like the sound of a V-twin. This is the stock exhaust too, guys. Sounds amazing. I like that this bike has a kickstand down warning, so you don't accidentally put it in first gear and have the thing die on you. You know you've done it before too. All right, let's get this thing on the road and see what it's like to ride. Very smooth throttle actuation. Gearbox too. And listen guys, before I get too deep into this, I've got to send a huge shout out to Hunter, Tommy, and the rest of the crew over at Stubbs Cycles for allowing me to bring this motorcycle to you. Straight away, I got to tell you, the ergonomics of this machine are really good. The way that your hands fall right on to the handlebars, very comfortable and very natural feeling. Clutch is very progressive. So right here at low speeds, just kind of creeping up onto the highway. Throttle engagement is very progressive, not jerky, just very smooth, very well refined throttle mapping, and we are in sport mode. And this motorcycle's got multiple ride modes, connectivity, cruise control. Heck, it's even got a power windscreen. Look at that. So this bike's got a lot of amenities, but in saying all of that, you would expect it, right? Especially at the price point that some of these American cruisers are clipping in at. So with all of that being said, what's it like to ride? Better than I thought. Guys, this is my first time riding an Indian, and already I can tell you, very impressed with how this machine gets down the road. This motorcycle has electronically adjustable suspension, and I've got it set up in single rider mode. You can set it up to where the preload will accommodate a passenger as well. All you got to do is just go into the settings and let it know. So again, a ton of features, premium features at that. But from the simple point of view of riding a motorcycle, seeing those analog gauges up there, it just feels natural. Everything about this motorcycle, and I don't know that I could give any bike any higher praise than that. In terms of how the suspension reacts, right back there we hit some expansion joints in that bridge that are kind of known for upsetting motorcycles sometimes, and this thing, I didn't even feel it. In fact, I almost forgot to mention it. That one right there that we just hit's normally the worst of the bunch, and this bike just soaked it up like it wasn't even there. So very compliant. And this bike feels kind of light on its feet too, but it is punchier than I would have thought that it would have been. I mean, 830 pounds when it's full of fluids, that's a lot of mass to move around, but this big V-twin has absolutely no problem muscling this machine around with authority. This motorcycle does not have a quick shifter or an auto blipper, so you are the quick shifter and auto blipper on this machine. Golly, even at very low RPM, this motorcycle has got a strong push. So getting to those brakes, oh yeah, those big Brembos up front haul this machine down nicely. And progressively, they don't bite. I mean, for the most part, I'm single fingering that brake lever. So, very comfortable bike to ride, very intuitive machine to ride. And it feels, I gotta tell you guys, I can't get over how much lighter this motorcycle feels than its spec sheet would insinuate you to think. I mean, yeah, it's a big bike, it looks big, and I suppose it is. But, man, just the way that this thing feels underneath you, it's pretty impressive how Indian has put together a package that feels as sporty as this machine does. I think a lot of it has to come down to just how playful this engine feels. That Challenger sounded good. Oh yeah, this bike feels like it's got a lot left in the tank to give in terms of power output. Lots of power on demand with this machine. It's funny, it's a Challenger following a Challenger. Come on, Mopar, I know you got more in you than that. Yeah, this bike is quite a bit stronger than I thought it was going to be. Tell you what, having some fun with this bike, just kind of getting warmed up to it, getting accustomed to it. Oh, that mid-throttle pull is so nice with this bike. In fact, so much so, here in 6th gear, as weird as this is going to sound, I'm almost looking for a 7th gear. That's how much punch this bike has in top gear. It doesn't feel like it's revving too high. Don't take it the wrong way. It just simply feels like it's got substantial power on reserve with that mid-throttle twist. Wow, this bike is fun and punchy and playful too. I didn't really expect that out of this machine. And so now that I'm getting a chance to spend some time with this bike, the comfort level of it, the playfulness, the responsiveness of this engine, guys, I can see why so many of you have been bitten by the bug of these American style baggers, and why you don't mind spending the money for a machine like this. I mean, y'all know how much these bikes cost, right? But listen, if you're just going to have one motorcycle, you're not into blasting canyons or anything like that. You want something that is not only fun and satisfying to ride, but that you maybe could do longer distances with. And you, in a way, kind of wanted to have your cake and eat it too. This might be the right bike for you. What I like a lot about this bike too is how this thing makes power is, in a certain way, kind of intuitive. At no time does it ever feel like it's laying over on the big end, if you will. Handle's nice, guys. Very stable even in corners and curves. But this machine, so far as I can tell, it never feels like it lays over on the far right hand side of the tachometer. It just keeps wanting to pull and pull and pull, where other V-twins or parallel twins seem to want to sign off once that tach starts moving, say, past about 2/3 of the way through its operational range. Now, this bike's not like that at all. God, in that partial throttle hit, listen, again, this bike has so much mid-range punch that if you were to come to this motorcycle, again, I'm more of a sport bike guy, but coming to this Challenger, if you are a sport bike guy and you wanted a bike that was a bigger bike and could do all the things that a bagger can do, but you wanted something that was going to be more playful, more fun, and in some ways more familiar to you with how it makes power, not necessarily in the RPM ranges, but just that it wants to use the entire tachometer, this is the bike for you guys. God, it just goads you into wanting to do things that are somewhat hooliganish. The gearbox on this bike is silky smooth too. I'm telling you right now, guys, this bike thinks that it's a smaller bike. I am not kidding. I feel like this motorcycle has a bit of an identity crisis in that it thinks that it's a sport naked, even though it weighs 830 pounds. It is so good, guys. It is just so responsive and so playful feeling. All right, let's go ahead and get her piped up under this overpass for you. Oh, that sounds good. Yep. I gotta tell you guys, this thing is a bit more fun than it has any right to be. Yes! A little bit of a rolling burnout for you coming up on the on-ramp. Oh, how fun is that? I get it now, guys. Oh yeah, that's the party trick right there. Yeah, way more playful, way more fun than this bike has any right to be, guys. And to think that this bike is stock. I know there's guys out there that pipe them and tune them and get even more power and more performance. I tell you what, as this bike is impressing me, I don't know that I would need much more than what this bike is putting out. God, that mid throttle twist punch is just and it's just the way that this engine is matched up with its gearing and the weight of the machine and how it gets down the road. I do like the throttle mapping quite a bit. I like that it's progressive. It's not real jerky or instant, which I would say is a very good thing for a motorcycle with this kind of power output and this type of torque potential. Yeah, you're good. You're very good, Indian Challenger. I'm so impressed with the overall packaging of this machine too. The way that the ergonomics flow in with the visual of the TFT screen. The way that the analog clocks, the whole dashboard integration is so nice. And so many different screens you can scroll through. It just so much connectivity, all the technology you could want or need. Cruise control, I believe, is also one of the options on this machine, helping to make collecting those big miles a little bit less taxing. But the overall takeaway with this bike is that it is sincerely and considerably more sporty than I thought that it was going to be, and certainly more sporty and more playful than any of the other bigger bikes that I've ridden. Let's go ahead and get around this fella here. And it'll pull the front tire off the ground. All right. Another party trick for the Indian Challenger. Guys, this bike is a ton of fun to ride. Way better than I thought that it was going to be. Tell you what, let's get her back to the back lot, do some slower speed maneuvers, a little bit of an avoidance around that grate. Yep, this is such a playful, fun, placeable, although not exactly super lightweight. You wouldn't catch it being called svelte, I guess. But just kicking around back here in the lot, still very easily placeable. Look where you want to go, and it will take you there. Let's give these brakes a quick workout. Give you an idea for how these bad boys work. Go ahead and get her spooled up through the box. And she will absolutely, whoa, right down. That was awesome. These brakes are so good, guys. Maybe somewhat of an overlooked feature for bikes like this. Oh yeah, she just dives right into these corners. But yeah, this is a properly fun motorcycle. I don't know that I would have given it really a second thought as far as being sporty or being fun. But God, I want y'all to hear this exhaust. Oh, let's try that again. I want y'all to hear this exhaust. Accidentally hit the off button here. Just so you can get a taste of how good this bike sounds. I don't know if it was coming over on video. It just sounds so good, and this is all stock too. Now we can turn her off. So guys, this was my first experience with an Indian Challenger. I gotta say, I don't know that I've had this much fun on a bike like this ever in my life. If you've never ridden one, highly suggest giving one a shot. Come by Stub Cycles, grab the keys to this machine, take her for a spin. I tell you what, I think I've got a new favorite big bike, guys. Just the playfulness, the fun, the power, everything rolled into this bike. What a neat experience. And with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. If you've made it this far, truly appreciate you hanging out with me, and I hope to catch you on the next one. Take care.